All right, 6.2 example 4, you can see here it says solving a trigonometric equation with the quadratic formula. Yippee, we know how much you love the quadratic formula. So the big question is going to be how am I going to know that this is going to be the quadratic formula? Because of course they tell us that right here, but they're not going to tell you that on an assignment or certainly not on the test. So here's your clue. I have, it is a factor, it's in factored form, but it's set equal to 1, not equal to 0. So you can't use the 0 factor property because it's not set equal to 0. So that means I need to go ahead and distribute this through. So that gives me cotangent squared x plus 3 cotangent x equals 1. So then I'm going to move the 1 over because now I have a squared and a linear x in the same problem and with the same trig identity. So that means this is going to be quadratic. And my first inclination is to try to factor it. But essentially what I have here is x squared plus 3x minus 1. And there are no factors of -1 that you add to get 3, which is what lets me know that I'm going to have to use quadratic formula. So now quadratic formula is the same as it's always been. The quadratic formula is -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And my b value is 3. My a value is 1. And my c value is -1. So it's going to be -3 plus or minus the square root of 3 squared minus 4 times 1 times -1 all over 2 times 1. And we're just going to simplify that. So -3 plus or minus the square root of 9 plus 4 over 2, which is going to be -3 plus or minus the square root of 13 over 2. Now, this is an exact answer, but it's not, square root 13 is not something that's on the unit circle, which means I'm going to have to go ahead and put this in my calculator. So I'm just going to put it in, I'm going to put it in twice and get 2 separate decimal answers. So I'm going to do, and remember right now this is cotangent. So cotangent of x equals this. So I'm going to put in my calculator a fraction bar, -3 plus, it won't let you do plus minus, so square root of 13 over 2. That's one of my answers. Well, that's one of the answers to the quadratic formula part. It's not your answer to your problem yet. And then I'm going to do the same thing with a minus. Oh, minus, there we go. Okay, so I have, so now I'm going to have 0.3028. So cotangent x equals 0.3028, and cotangent x equals -3.303. Now I have to get rid of the cotangent. And remember, so I'm going to have to arc cotangent, but that's not on my calculator. So I'm actually going to arc tangent. So I'm going to flip this and I'm going to do arc tangent of that. So I'm going to do arc tangent of 1 over 0.3028. And that's what I'm going to put in my calculator. And then arc tangent of 1 over -3.303. And so when I put that in the calculator, that should give me my answers. So arctan of 1 over 0.3028. And that gives me 0.1623. So x equals 0.1623. And then remember, you're going to add pi to that so that you can get all of your answers between 0 and 2 pi. Is that what they told me? Oh, I actually didn't even, oh, it says find all solutions. So actually, so it's going to be this plus pi. And then you do the same thing for this one. Get your answer in the calculator and do it plus pi. And that's it.